Okay. I think things seem to be going a little bit better now. Alright, so at least should be functioning a little bit better now for what's going on, but I still have weird things going on in general. Like, just in general, it's not letting me like end streams and stuff, which is really frustrating. I don't know where any of that kind of stuff went. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I lowered all of my frame rates and seems to be functioning a little better. It does have what looks like a little bit of lag still, but much better than what it was before. Yeah, now that I'm looking at it though, it seems like YouTube has completely changed its streaming setup. Like there used to be a button for like exiting your stream and stuff, and that doesn't exist anymore, which is weird. But we'll worry about that after I'm done drawing, because I don't really want to deal with it anymore. I just want to do the fun stuff. Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm going to be messing around with that some more. I got off of Safari and started doing it in Chrome, thinking that might work. Weirdly enough, though, Chrome actually uses up more CPU usage, so I don't know how I managed to make it all work and function. But something must be off. Maybe I need to update Safari. I definitely think that YouTube did something, and I just don't know what. I'll have to check out, go on the internets later and see what the hell they changed. Because that for sure happened. There's like a missing the button. Next time I'll do it in like the classic stream setup, which is funny because I thought that they got rid of that already. Turns out it's still there. Super strange. So what are you two doing today? Other than chilling with me while I'm drawing. And how's the mic sound, by the way? Is it weirder at all? I didn't mess with that at all. Yeah, no, Chrome takes up all the space. And normally I try not to use it because of that. I have to use it when we're playing Roll20 just because Roll20 will not run for some stupid reason on Safari. I try to use Safari because it's made for Apple products, and generally you'd think that that's the way to go. God, it's so warm in my office right now. Yeah, I'm excited to see that, Jordan. You'll have to let me know how it is. It sounds like a cool thing. Is it like completely customizable, or is it something that you just choose like pre-generated stuff, or is it like a puzzle piece kind of thing? Solo Blades in the Dark? How? So wait, is that just using your imagination, or are we talking like you're having somebody still DM you, or are you DMing one person? Yeah, like how does one do a solo RPG? Because really, at that point, isn't it just being sitting there and imagining things? Which I'm totally cool with. I do that all the time. One could argue that that's what I'm doing right now. Oh, well, that's just writing a story, but with rules. There's nothing wrong with that. Are you actually writing it all out, Corey? Because you should. Wow, this class actually functions pretty well in a green screen. Um, yeah, because I mean, realistically, what's the point of doing that if you're not gonna like write the story down? You should share it. But I mean, that's a good way to write a book right there. If you want to do it quickly, just take yourself out of the equation. Yeah, that's definitely cool. I dig that. I should have done that for this story. That would have been a lot easier. Especially considering I'm basically just using a whole bunch of D&D stuff anyway. The main goal is just to get a couple of these panels done up as best I can. Yeah, it seems like everything's running a lot better now that I've dropped everything down to 25 frames, which is good because I don't really need 30 frames with art like this anyway. I don't know how it got to 60. I didn't do those settings. There must have been an update with OBS, which I should probably pay attention more because I have it on automatic updates, and you know how that can be. Let's keep this more dirty. Hell yeah, I'm down with that. Love to see it, man. Super excited to see where our campaign's going, by the way, because I'm also excited about the break. Got a lot of things that I want my character to do. I'm sure everyone does. To some degree, anyway. This is one of them spiky helmets. Real quick. Try to see what my lines were. Okay. Spiky helmet guy has Hey, I don't think that Menon ruined anything. We all Jordan. We've talked to you about this before. If you leave us stuff to explore, that's your fault, not ours, because we are a curious bunch of people. At this point, we've been playing long enough that you should know if you dangle a carrot in front of us, we're going to run after it. Yeah, and you could have been like, okay, guys, you left the library and a month passed. You guys have been researching for a long time. It's because Jordan also can't hold off. Hoo 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 hoo. Yes. Just remember, Jordan, you are guiding us on that journey. Now, I'm just excited for Jandier to come back around. That's going to be fun. Okay, so this is a thicker portion of the helmet. And it has a wider. Yes. I assume so. That's going to be good, though. I'm sure his story will be loads of fun. Had to have gone on some sort of crazy wizard shenanigans. Don't worry, Jordan. I won't try to get them out of you on here. That's just rude. Even though I may want to. Okay. Yeah. More rules, eh? Well, I am in front of my computer right now, and we can jump on to Roll20. That's not a problem. Unfortunately, you have access to my character sheet, so you can pick all the things I suck at. Can I just state while we're chilling here how terrified I am about the first time that we have combat, because I don't know how much this new character sheet is going to completely screw up all of my rolls. Oh, cool. Thanks, Jordo. I'm excited to check that out. amazing how sometimes you can not like something and add one little tiny line and it makes all the difference. Okay, that's a little better. That's cool because we have an extra. Wait, are we supposed to be level 11 now, or like 11 levels altogether? Right? I didn't know that because if we're supposed to be 12, then I'm behind, and I gotta fix that. But I think we're supposed to be 11, right? Okay, let's add some work. I still don't like this fucking hand right here. It's stupid, but I'm just gonna deal with it for now. I'm trying to get over it. Be productive. Edit things later. Yeah, only because you're not looking at it the same way I am. It looks okay, but it's a really bad hand. Wait, you should have seen how much editing. I mean, just go back and watch my stream from last week of how bad the original was. Uh, and like I ended up spending like an hour and a half after the stream just futzing with it. But it still isn't where I want it to be. So I will have to fix it at some point. I mean, there's a whole bunch to this that I'm going to end up fixing when I color it anyway, but... Yeah, I'm trying to get better at perspective. If you couldn't tell, in this particular comic book, I've done a lot of forcing myself into that. But that's because I'm trying to get better at backgrounds in general. And it'll work. Hey, what's happening? Welcome to one of my streams. It's only a little bit super janky right now. I missed the last couple James Ray's streams, which bummed me out. But I'll jump on to the next one that I am able to. I'm so close to my 100 subs, and thank you for joining in. That was very, very kind of you. This is very much helping me stay productive on all of these different projects I've got going on. I don't like that horn either. We're going to be messing around with a bunch of things on here. Oh, see, I'm too low of a tier, but I will probably be upgrading it to the $25 tier. What time is it? I'll try to do it. The problem is I'm working until like 6 or 8 or something like that. I don't know. I got a big tattoo to do, but I could always put it on in the background. The downside to being booked out until September with tattoos, I don't get to do any of the fun stuff. Oh, cool. That might give me the chance then. Only problem is James he's one of them morning people. I'm actually working on switching around my sleep schedule for that. Oh yeah, you're one of those on the other side of the world time zones, right? That makes it a little tricky. See, my complaint is that I'm in the same time zone, and he wakes up so early. But hey, it kind of works out for me in the long run for like my streaming and stuff. That way I don't have to worry about. I can actually enjoy his streams while I'm in my off time for mine. Generally, because I usually am streaming a lot later. So what time is it for you over there right now? Oh man. Ew, gross, Corey. Why are you doing that? That job of yours. I am trying to wake up a little bit earlier. 8 p.m. Oh, cool. So that's not so bad. That's some craziness, though. I should probably figure out. Oh, that's probably a little bit further. I should get rid of that line. I'm gonna figure out that background a little later. I guess that's fair, Corey. Little, don't give in too far to the madness. Speaking of madness, though, have you seen the trailer for Lovecraft Country? Super excited, or County rather. Or no, it's Country. Yeah, I'm super excited for it. It's gonna be awesome. It's great because basically, Jordan Peele is like, okay, so we all know that Lovecraft was super racist, and that's super bummer because the world is cool. So Jordan Peele is like, no worries, guys. I know exactly what to do. We'll embrace how racist it is and make that the actual story. Which is wonderful because Jordan Peele, he makes some fucking amazing stories. So he can take that cool world and embrace the fact that Lovecraft was a horrible person and we should not like him, but dark, creepy, psycho, trippy stories are pretty cool. Okay. Yeah, Jordan, me too. I woke up actually at like 9 today, so I actually got up a little decently. Yeah, look into it. I think it's Lovecraft Country. It might be County, but it looks really good. I mean, it's Jordan Peele. He hasn't done us wrong yet when it comes to directing something. Alright, so that panel, we'll leave that for now. Let's get to the cooler one. So, splash page 2 and 3. To get you caught up, New York. Jork art. Is it New York or is it a soft J? See, in our D&D campaign, my two brothers are the other people in the comments here. We have the world's called Vaya, and spelt with a J, so I can't help but just put a soft J on things now. But okay, cool. Yeah, I thought it was Lovecraft Country. It looks really good. I mean, it's an HBO show. I already got it. I'm going to watch it. But just to keep you caught up, I am on my second and third page. It's the splash page of this comic. I'm not much of a writer or anything, so I made a comic that has a very basic storyline. It's mostly because I want to finish it. It's going to actually be a 2-part story with like sci-fi kind of thing. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, that's sweet. So I was actually doing it right. Yes, that's cool. Yeah, basically, both of the comics are going to kind of go together to some degree, but it's almost like Grindhouse films or something like that. Me doing like a two-parter that are their own stories. And in both of these, I decided to torture myself by making character designs that have way too many layers and armor and all that fun stuff. Because I like to torture myself. Yes. New York. New York. Okay. So what kind of artwork do you like to do? Do you have a channel yourself? If so, I will be following it. Yeah, and I made it more difficult on myself after making the cover for this. Jordan, you think that I made this one more difficult on myself? Wait till I draw up my D&D character's armor. Okay, awesome, New York. I will check that out. So I'll click on the link in just a minute here, and actually I think I can do that without it. Here, I'll do that afterward, just to not mess with my stream here, but I got you. I would like to, actually here, I got a phone? What am I talking about? We have the technology. Hey, I think that we're always trying to figure out style. You just got to keep doing it until you get there. I mean, my style changes on a fairly regular basis, which is why, like, for instance, I don't follow other tattoo artists specifically because I don't want to end up stealing other people's style. I have the problem of, like, every time I read a new comic book, I want to draw in that style. Like, I'm a huge Jim Lee fan, so for a long time, a lot of my artwork looked like a ripoff of Jim Lee's, and I'm trying to just do my own thing right now. And it's tricky, but, you know, we'll get there. Figuring out style just takes time, and I think that the irony is if you keep trying to have a style, you're never really going to find it, because you just got to just draw. Do what makes you happy. Let's see here. There we are. You got a new subscriber. Heck yes. That's one of the reasons why I'm also super excited about James making his Patreon, because he is one of those wonderful people that when I was in his earliest streams, we were able to chat with him all the time and learn a bunch of things. And of course, when the virtual studio kind of disappeared, that's one of the reasons why I made this channel was through all of the quarantine. I wasn't being productive, and I was just playing video games, and I really didn't like that. I thought that I was just wasting my time, and I wanted to be productive, so I pretty much was trying to replicate a little bit of what I did with the virtual studio before, or at least, you know, kind of selfishly for me, not necessarily. I would love for other people to do artwork and hang out with me here, but really just the idea of having people chat with me while I'm working on something, and also people knowing that I'm working on something. That in itself is a big deal, because when a bunch of people know that I'm working on a project, I kind of have to stay true to it. They want updates. They want to know what I'm doing, and that's good. That's exactly what I needed, was to keep myself fighting forward, so to speak. Yeah, I'll also technically I have two channels. I might have just followed you with my viewing channel, but I'll follow you with Tay Tattoos as well, because, you know, why not? And also, that's the one that I should probably start using more often anyway. For some reason, when I made this actual, like, YouTube account, it was separate. Just because I was trying to change the screen name. Yeah, exactly, Jordan. Incentive is everything. I needed to have the motivation behind me, and honestly, I feel like I get a ton done when I am able to chat with people. Obviously, it might slow me down a little bit, but I got mad ADD problems, and I get distracted really easily. So being able to just jump in and hang out with people works well. Hey, what's up, Nick? What's going on? You came in just in time, and by that I mean right after all of my technical difficulties happened, and things seem to be actually functioning now, which is super cool. Okay, so let's look at my other piece right over there. So get that. We're gonna adjust it slightly. This is where we're at so far in the splash page. Yeah, thanks. I'm cheating, and instead of finishing the other panel that I was actually working on, I'm trying to feel like I've accomplished more and get a couple smaller panels going. Oh, that's awesome, man! I can't wait to see it again in person. It was so much fun to work on, and obviously I am super excited to add on to that. That'll be a lot of fun. I'm using an app called Mirror or Mirage. Um, it's a pay for app, but it's only like it was like $10 or something like that, 10-15 bucks. Worth every penny, and all it wirelessly connects it directly to my computer. I'm running off of a MacBook Pro, so I had some other ways to get through that too. But it was in order to work better in OBS, I needed to have a separate window for it. So I used Mirage. There were a couple of options out there, and I think I can use it corded as well. But I didn't want to have too many things running off of the battery of my computer, because that was prior to me having a dock. I'm running everything off of a laptop right now, so. But Procreate's one of my favorite things. I use it for work literally every day. So I set up this comic on here. I wanted to use my Huion tablet for this initially, but it turns out I'm a lot slower. Oh, here, let's in Photoshop these days. I used to use Photoshop all the time, and I still probably will when I get to the coloring portion of this. I'll still do like all my flats and stuff in here, but this comic is purely for fun. I am a tattoo artist by day, so this one is. I've always wanted to be a comic book artist though, so this is just basically my excuse of something to do. Plus, just in general, I want to become a better storyteller. I'm working on this comic as well as working on a couple of like animation projects. Those I plan on doing more on here eventually, but obviously they're very time consuming, so I want to make sure that I am not losing track of my the things I'm supposed to be doing, like my job as a tattoo artist. It's super busy at the shop right now, so I'm trying to keep the balance, so to speak. And that angle that I created was really weird. Oh, I got the 102? That's so exciting! We did it! That means I get to finally change my URL. I've been waiting for that for so long. That is fantastic. Yes! Awesome. I'll be changing that after this stream. Finally. Took me long enough. Actually, wait. Okay, cool. I didn't ever see the front of this guy, did I? Oh, no, I did. Chest plate. We'll work on that. Thank you very much, guys. And thank you for bringing that up in general. Yeah, Jordan, not an influencer with 100 subs. That's, yeah, I got a ways to go before I think I can be considered anything more than a passive YouTuber. Gotta get that wonderful excessive amount of blood spatter. But yeah, no, I'm super excited about that. That means I can finally get rid of all those extra digits and random letters attached to everything. Guys, turns out getting the green screen was worth it. Excessive amounts of zombie gore. Okay, let's look at this real quick because I don't want to have to change it later. Okay, so he's got a very similar chest plate to another character there. Shows how creative I am. I learned how to do one. Worth it. Yeah, I just had to get through a whole bunch of technical difficulties first. There's going to be some serious math figured out in between after I'm done with this. Try to figure out what the heck went wrong. Yeah, exactly, right? I'm getting somewhere. Now, guys, I just have to get, let's see here, I'm at 45 hours of viewing time. I just need to get to, I just need to multiply that by 100. I need 4,000 viewing hours and 1,000 subscribers, and then I can... See, that's why my goal is not to become like a YouTuber that makes money on it. My goal is to make enough money to upgrade my YouTube, like to build a editing PC that might also be able to play games. Like that's the goal. If I can make enough money to keep getting new toys for the YouTube, then we've succeeded. Okay. Thanks, brother. That's cool. It'll take a little bit. I'm not, like I said, I'm not in any particular rush. The cool part is that with this comic in itself, I'm also like kind of making a product. So I'm gonna be I'm trying to figure out the best way to try to like actually release this comic once it's done. And so far, there's a couple different routes I could go in, but I might do a Kickstarter for it. What tool are you using? It is this wonderful one that you can get for free called the Elder 2.0. It's my favorite one. I think it's a Gary's brush from one of his comic inker sets. I believe you can get it for free on his Gumroad. I tipped him out for it because it's wonderful. I've downloaded it several times, and he has like 3 different versions of them. I have way too many brushes. Max Packs, I've bought like all of his because they're really good. Initially, I was going to just build my own because I used to do that on Photoshop all the time. If you go on Google and type in Gary's brushes, you can find him in the Procreate forums. You can also just type in Gary's brushes, comic inker brushes. Oh, excuse me. Whew, gross. And you can find him through Google to get to his Gumroad, and you can just download it. You can either install it through Dropbox, or if you have some sort of WinZip or iZipper on your iPad, you can just drop it directly into Procreate, which is pretty exciting. Yeah, sometimes it's weird with the tools. Yeah, I find that the easiest way to do it is to download a free app called iZip, and there's a free version of it. You just have to deal with ads. But if you download iZip, you can, the moment that you go into Gumroad and you go through the purchase and stuff, they'll send you an email. And like I said, it's a purchase, but you don't have to pay for it. I don't think. I think you can just tip him if you want to. Once you have the email, you hard click on the link and say open in either to download it or open in iZip. And when you open it in iZip, you just go into the file, grab on it. Unfortunately, with the free version, you have to go to individual brushes. But once you open it in the individual brushes, you can open it into your computer. Actually, if you want, here, I'll show you. Obviously, you're not going to see my fingers working here, but where is my iZip app? I have so many random apps and games that I don't even play. Oh, iZip, where are you? Oh, there we go. Okay, so this is iZip. And once you download some stuff, you could use it through Dropbox too, but let's see, this might even be it, which would be funny. Yeah, okay, so this is this is what the file looks like when you first initially download it, when you bring it into iZip, and it has a bunch of different brushes on it. So let's say, just because it's a different one, let's go with the trio liner. Bam. So if I click on that, it will open up all this gobbledygook. Don't worry about any of it. Just type open in, put it into your copy to Procreate. And once you have copied it to Procreate, it should, A, be the brush that you have next. So there's the trio liner right there. And B, it will be down in the very bottom of your brush set. It's going to be in this imported section. Yeah. So that's the easiest way that I find to download it, is just to use that free app. Otherwise, you have to have Dropbox, and you need space with the Dropbox accounts. And I feel like they slowly keep limiting the cloud on Dropbox. So I try not to use it all that often. I have one. I very, very, very rarely use it. I just don't like to get attached to clouds that I need to start paying for, because I forget about them. And then they'll only take a couple bucks from you here and there, but here and there adds up. But hopefully that helps you download some brushes, because there's a ton of really cool brushes out there. I mean, just from the Procreate functions, like the Procreate forums alone, you can get a bunch of free ones. And also, if you get a hold of a few of them, you can learn how to make your own brushes, which is in itself worthwhile. Also, if you have a friend who has Procreate, you can share brushes between each other just by airdropping them, which is an amazing thing that Procreate has let us do. At work, whenever I create a new brush for tattoo inking, I share it with my coworkers, just because it makes life easier. A lot of the brushes that I need for work are actually super basic and just really clean hard edge liners. So nothing super crazy generally. But I hope that helps you play around with the Procreate brushes, because there's a bunch of good ones. Let me do a solid refresh. Haven't done that for a little bit. Yeah, I mean, Procreate, it's a super cheap art program, but you still have to put into still have to do the thought process of, you have to buy an iPad to get there, which at the cheapest is going to cost you $400, because you need to get a $300 iPad and a $100 Apple Pencil. At the very least, I have two Apple Pencils because I've almost killed one of them. The battery works for 20 minutes, so I try to keep it charged just in case this one dies. But I have the original iPad Pro when they first came out, and mine's almost officially done. I was a very, very, very early adopter of Procreate. Uh, and they just keep adding all these wonderful tools that make it so I never want to use any other program again. Actually, speaking of though, I am in desperate need of fixing my screen brightness. Okay. So let's real quickly get the rest of this character done up. Add some battle damage. Really didn't want to draw skeleton hands on this guy, so I completely ignored that. It's like, yeah, he's wearing a glove. It's fine. He was wearing gloves when he died. That's how that works. Also, if you're a Lich King, you don't want to have a bunch of skeletons who aren't in armor, right? Okay. But at the same time, apparently you don't want to give them, like, nice weaponry. It costs money. You don't want to do that. Yeah, I was the one who convinced a bunch of people. Well, like by a bunch of people, I mean I convinced my boss Coop to pick up an iPad because it just made life. It makes life a lot easier and faster. I can drop a whole tattoo on the spot, especially right now where things are super busy. It makes life so much easier. And yeah, now it's ingrained into my my mindset on my job in general. So I kind of feel like I need it. At some point, I obviously won't be giving out other people's brushes, but at some point I'll make a custom brush set just for like my channel and anybody who wants one. I haven't done that yet, but it'd be kind of a fun project in general. Because like I said, this is like my favorite brush because it's like the hybrid of a pen and a pencil. I just love the gritty lines, and you can bold them up by going over them. Realistically, you can do what there's another YouTuber named Mike Henry online, and he just customizes the fat pencil brush. He uses mostly just the actually I think he uses only just the Procreate brushes that they come with, and he just makes a couple slight tweaks to them, and they're all fantastic. I have used that pencil before. In fact, it's right here. So this is the pencil he uses. He just bolds it up a little bit, makes it so it can go a lot bigger, and he does all of his inking with that paintbrush or with that pencil brush. Okay. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, people share so many cool things on that forum. It's worth checking it every once in a while, especially with the new brush creator. It's gotten really good. It's I believe he's if you just type in Gary's brushes, it should pop up. But I believe it was his comic inker set Has like the brush that I'm using is called the Elder 2.0. I believe it was just his comic inkers because he's got like the Eisner, the bunch of old school guys ones. Here, let me go to my imported stuff here. Oh yeah, he also has the Elder Part 4, which I haven't played with yet, but he just made a bunch of like Kirby dots and comicking tools like that are fun to use. I don't use a ton of them myself, but I should know more about it personally. I just haven't had to look it up in a while. But now that I'm doing this YouTube game more often, I probably should have more answers for people. I love the shape tools so much. Yeah, this was a fun thing to try to figure out. How best to draw a quick inside of a skull's jaw. I've done a lot of things in my tattoo drawing. I've drawn a lot of things, but I've never had to draw the inside of a jaw. Here, I'll see if I can find that set real quick. Oh, George's, not Gary's. My bad. It's George's brushes. Um, yeah, yeah. My bad. Yeah, he's got a ton of brushes, but the George's comic and cartoon brushes. The one that he even has a YouTube video with him that has straight up has just a drawing of Deadpool on it. But yes, George's ink and paint brushes. I hope that you can find them because they're a lot of fun. They're really good. Yeah. So if it is in the Procreate folio, George's ink and paint brushes. Um, he's got a ton of different ones, and they're really good. All of them are fun. Super awesome. Worth checking into. Sorry, George's, not Gary's. I'm silly like that. I thought I had it right. I was wrong. Okay, so inside of a skull, but let's not worry about it much because we're just gonna do this kind of thing. Am I allowed to link things here? Let's find out. Okay, well, at least that's the link to his the page that I know is in Procreate. So there's at least that. Chainmail texture. Conveniently, my wife is home with the doggo today, so can actually be productive. Okay. My office is getting so warm. Let's get this other one done up real quick. Is that arm more flat? We'll put another one right there. You can try WinZip. I find that I have to do them individually, but you can select all if you wanted to try it. But Procreate has made some significant upgrades that it might be able to do that. I also like to organize them into my own files, so I personally just do one at a time. But that's just my own preference. You can definitely try it. If it doesn't work, I would do it individually, just because WinZip is a free program, so sometimes it has some limitations, which, you know, that happens, but it's at least nice to be free. Okay. Here, sorry, give me a second here. I got a project for later today that I gotta respond back to real quick. Okay. Let's see here. That has the two parts, so put this. I'm super excited for you. Discovering all those new brushes is going to be so fun, especially now that you know how to download them. You have so many new toys to play with. There are a billion brushes out there. I would definitely not go too overboard all the time. Find some ones that you really like using and stick with them. Especially if you, down the line, I'm not obviously going to tell you to go spend money, especially if it would hurt you. Always be smart about that sort of thing. But if you can afford it, the Max Packs by Alkany brushes are all incredible. His watercoloring brush set is worth every freaking penny for it, especially if you like that style of artwork. I can show you what they do. Well, I'll do that in another page here because I am trying to also screen record all of this process. So there's going to be some things I'll have to edit out just because I'm silly like that. But okay, this was more of a thin zombie arm. Gross, veiny arm. But it's what I did the entire comic book cover of this for. And it worked out really, really well. I'll pull that up in just a second. I didn't do that on stream, so I don't mind sharing it for a second. Okay, so this was the comic book cover that I did, and I did this all using one brush for the most part. I mean, obviously all the inks and stuff were their own brushes. I did some like cool blurring effects and used the light brushes from Procreate for both my highlights and all like the magic glowy stuff. But all of the coloring itself was done with, Let me set up a new page so I can show it. It was done specifically. Actually, it was with a gouache max pack, so we'll show that one first. So this is his gouache color, one brush that I really liked using, and I did almost everything with this paintbrush right here, which is just, it's wonderful. You go to the side, you can get some really nice textures. If you want to blend in with other colors, it's just super good for that, and I love that sort of super high texture stuff. I might not do it with the whole comic in this one. I'm still trying to talk myself out of it because I know it's going to take so long. But his watercolor set is what's just mind-blowingly good. So if you want to make something look like watercolor for real, these brushes are just wonderful. They layer and stack on each other really well. If you want to blend with them, they blend super well. They are fantastic. So highly suggest if you did want to spend money on it, picking these up. Obviously, I'm in no way, shape, or form sponsored. He doesn't know me, nor would he care. But they are a brush set that it's a toy that I love playing with, and I have no problem preaching how amazing they are. Anyway, let's play with this. I actually really want to get better at those paintbrushes, just because I'm not much of a painter, and I used to do a lot of digital art, but it's very much like flatted cell shading stuff is what I always used to do, and I would like to get better at just in general artwork for like with painting style stuff. I think it's really cool. Huh. Okay. Okay, no, that makes sense. We're good. Okay, so I had to stop confusing myself there for a second. So this is actually going to have a torch over here. I now figured out where this was supposed to be this whole time. All I had to do was look a little bit further ahead in my storyboard. It's just been so long since I drew the pencils for this. The beginning of quarantine. Okay. Oh, I just realized this whole time I've been doing this on panel 2. That's okay though, because they're separated. That being said though, let's go back over here. Put actually thinner line than that. This here. Okay, it still would look like a hard edge. I had to do some mental math for a second there. Soul Sword's gonna be all glowy. Okay. Wish that I had some snacks in the office But I will have to wait until after I'm done with this, I guess. Made that head a little bit taller in that other image. Oh shoot. I have to remember rules here. Physics. It's gotta go with the swipe. I will probably end up running through it, editing that as I go. There's a whole lot of this that I'll probably end up redoing on my off time, but I'm getting a lot of it done, and that's what's important. Don't like that. Let me refresh, make sure that I'm actually seeing if anybody's chatting. Okay. I feel you, Jordo. Are you writing, or are you working on your campaign stuff? Are you still map making? Let me know when you post something. I would like to see it. have to own up to the fact that not all of this armor is ever going to completely make sense all the time. Because I'm just not good at that. I draw a lot of squishy peoples, I guess. That's cool, Jordan. I'm super excited to see it. Shooting 48. Almost got to my 2 hours. That's what I was trying to do today. Almost there, which is good because I am getting hungry. I might end up jumping on and streaming a little bit more later tonight, but it'll probably be more of me. It's either that or I'm going to work on another video. Because I would like to post a regular video again. It's been forever. I also feel like I need to change this panel 4 around just a little bit. Same thing with my background top panel here. Just to give it a little bit more dynamic kind of pose there. There's nothing really wrong with it. It's just not super interesting. That's something that I know I need to work further on. That's kind of the point of doing all this stuff. Yeah, isn't it great? I love it. It's just it's like a perfect hybrid between a pen and a pencil. Oh, Jordan, that map's looking really cool. I'm liking that a lot. Can't wait to see what you come up with for our future game nights here. Okay. Yeah, it's one of my favorite tools specifically for like my own style of sketching and drawing. It's just it's freeing. It feels kind of like a pencil, but I can go through and I can clean up things if it's messy and bothering me, because sometimes that happens. Sometimes I get just a little bit picky with lines, and by sometimes I mean I am a tattoo artist. I get picky with lines on a regular. It's kind of a part of my job to get picky about that sort of thing. quick tip, I'm using it both as my liner and as my eraser right now. It just puts the two together really nicely, and it makes it a lot easier to make your eraser strokes look like they belong instead of feeling like super sharp or something, because this brush is not a very sharp brush. It's got a lot of fuzz to it, so if you were to take, you can kind of, make it look more like a real traditional eraser, which is funny because it is supposed to be like an inking brush, but I love it for that. Like I said, to me it's like a ideal, like almost like a really good I don't know, like a thicker mechanical pencil or something. Or like drawing with a coloring pencil, but one that you can get really sharp. Gotta go with like the Rob Liefeld, give him like way too many pouches. Okay. Oh, nope, too tall. Yeah, I don't imagine this particular paladin to be the trophy type. Um, this is more of the classic trope of like I lost my people sort of thing kind of vibe. At least that's what I've been kind of getting from it. It's like someone compared the character design almost like a John Wick character a little while ago, and ever since that was said, I can't get it out of my head. So now it's just like this is the John Wick of paladins. That's also, I mean, the only reason why I could think of why a paladin would go into like Lich King lair completely by himself, because every D&D player knows that that's just a stupid idea. Especially because, let's face it, if this was a real game of D&D, this character in the first page, or we'll just pull that up real quick. So in the first page alone, so basically he casts magic weapon. Sword's gonna be all glowy. Then he casts shield, or holy shield. So that's gonna be his aura around him. So that's 2 spells before he even gets into a fight. Then he's gonna be turning around using said magic weapon. There's gonna be a smite right after that, so that's gonna be 3 spells immediately. So depending on the level of this paladin, he's already kind of wiping out most of his spells before he even gets to the big gun. But this is my own little story, so it'll be fine. Who knows? Well, we don't know if he'll be fine. That's not necessarily. I'm not going to spoil that. Okay. They should have been plot determined. I mean, I just when I when I initially drew this up and came up with this little story, it was only supposed to be like a page, and then I turned it into like a 10-page short story. So there's a little bit more going to it now. But yeah, just about, the nerdy side of me had to make it so that everything he was doing was essentially a spell in the D&D. Perfect. Don't want to have to figure out how a hand slash a piece of sword's material is supposed to work. Just block up most of it by the arm. Oh yes, definitely invested. I gotta keep this going all the way now, especially because it's on the internet. Now I have 100 people who are paying attention. Oh no. Well, 102. Shouldn't sell myself short, right? Okay. This is one of my favorite panels so far, even though there are things that are wrong with it, which I'm just going to say about every panel, by the way. I like it. It's a good one. Dargoons just makes me think of Lord of the Rings, and I just think of bagoons because gotta love Schmeagol. Exactly. Okay. Let's at least try to get, even though there are things that I have problems with, let's at least try to get this more or less almost done. So that way I can come back to it in the next stream. Or, like what I did the other night, I'll cheat and I'll clean up everything to make me happy with it. And then I'll do the next stream on the next couple panels. Because I do have to figure out how to fix a couple of the panels where they're just screwy to begin with. And once I have those more or less put into place, it'll be a lot easier just to ink them and not have to do a lot of thinking. That's why I did this whole building up here without streaming it, because all those individual bricks were basically my entire last stream, and I don't really want to do that again in a stream. I mean, I probably will, because I have this problem of just diving into super tedious projects, but, you know, I would like to kind of avoid filling up an entire stream with just me drawing bricks. If I can, in the future. I'd like to keep things at least a little bit interesting, even though this is mostly just to get me to work all the time. Oh, see, got past my time, or got to my time limit. Here, let me get some of this at least inked up before I finish this stream here, because I'm hungry. I'm in desperate need of food. For some stupid reason, I didn't eat before jumping online, which was for sure a poor choice. Alright, well, let's try to get this face done up at least a little bit. Do the whole Batman technique. This is why, when you don't like something initially, it does not hurt to take a step back away, because immediately, in comparison to when I sketched this face a second ago, I feel much better about it. Immediately. Just gotta take that break away. Step back to it. If anybody else would like to have some minor homework, because I think I may have figured out a way to play music in these streams. If somebody would like to share some copyright free, like Creative Commons music. If you find anything cool, by all means, message it to me or share it to me, so that way, I can try to get some music going, so that way there's at least some background tunes to listen to whilst playing the art game. I've been meaning to get that to go. I do have also, my boss Coop said that I could use his tunes on these streams, so I will be doing that at some point. It's just a weird setup on my computer where I have to mess around with all my like audio mic inputs and stuff, because Mac and OBS sometimes fight, which is, I think, what happened earlier. I'm not positive, but it might be what happened earlier. I think that was an update, in all honesty, but I'm not positive. Okay, so let's... Yeah, not always. But see, here's the thing: is if it is Mac with Mac, it just works perfectly, and that's really nice. That's why, like, Procreate is wonderful. It's only made for the Mac, and it shows because it works perfect. I've only been having some issues every once in a while with it recently because my iPad is getting old. And because I do a lot of really big projects like this, where technically I can only have 25 layers, and I gotta be getting... I'm not close, but I'm gonna be getting close quick. Okay. So this arm is gonna be fixed too. Because I need that so that I can... Once again, with the perspective thing. Bam. There we go. Instantly like it better, and I'm not even finished sketching it yet. If at first you don't succeed, try again. Sometimes take a step back away from it for a few days and then go back again. That sometimes is necessary, especially when fighting bosses in video games like Dark Souls. Just take a break. Yeah, Jordan knows what I'm talking about. Sometimes you just gotta step away and don't get too mad at the game. Because if you're mad at it, you're just gonna get more frustrated because you're just gonna keep getting your ass kicked. Nobody likes that. should be good enough for now. Like I said, I'm going to end up going through and fixing up a bunch of things. As I progress. Mostly because I did these pencils forever ago. Also, that's going to be a weird stretch because I got cut off marks from where I cropped things. Okay. More or less. Let's get this shoe on here, I suppose. Hear the dog being mad at me because I'm not giving him all the attention. Which is ridiculous. He's got his mum. Yeah, Jordan. I mean, how many people really choose to do that, though? It's really just you. Because you're crazy. Of course, Shield only is a bitch. I'm actually really mad at Dark Souls right now. Not because of playing it, weirdly enough. Because of not playing it. I wanted to pick it up. Instead, I ended up going with Doom Eternal because Dark Souls 3 is still $60, which is insane. I'm not giving them $60 for a game that's been out forever. It makes me mad. I know that it's good, but like it's crazy. I was like the other day, I was like, I wouldn't mind playing Dark Souls. Let's do that. And I instantly stopped myself because I'm not spending that much money. So instead, I got Doom Eternal for $25, I think it was. For like their sale that they had on it. So next time, if I ever find time to play video games again, that's what I'm going to be playing. Okay. Okay, so basically both of these panels just need a bunch of bricks, I suppose. Could do a little bit of this. Two. And there is a sconce. Cool. I'm not going to do the brick wall right now. I could add some of these swooshy lines, but I think I'm going to do those on a different layer just in case I don't like them. And other than outlining this a little bit bolder, realistically, I think it's a good time to call the stream right now. Got a couple of hours in. Like I said, I might jump on later, but if I do, it might not be working on this particular project. It might be working on drawing up some of me and my D&D party characters, just to get some new tokens going. Who knows? If I don't do a stream with that, though, I will probably make it into a video. Just because I haven't posted a regular video in a while, and that could be fun. I would like to. I've been wanting to. Just haven't had the time. Been so busy at the work. I do want to post more regularly, but once again, guys, so let me zoom out here so we can take a look at this whole thing so far. Honestly, I probably put way too much detail into something that's going to be so small, but I might be able to resize it and mess around with it a little bit, but depending on when I end up editing things out, which is totally a possibility, I might make these panels just a tad bit bigger, considering that would limit a little bit of this background. But once again, guys, thank you so much for joining my stream. We got me over 100 followers, which is fantastic, and it was a blast as always, and thank you for keeping me motivated. I'm definitely going to go get some food. I'm starving, but otherwise, it was loads of fun hanging out with everybody, and I will catch you on the next one. I should be doing another stream, like I said. Maybe not today, but we'll see. If I do, there will be a notification for it. Otherwise, we will kind of go from there. But have yourselves a lovely night.